Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Today we'll be talking about the Russian premium tier 8, the Mikhail Kutuzov. She is a light cruiser with 12 main guns at 152 millimeters apiece. You have a 15% chance of fire with the HE shells with Demo Expert. You have 5 torpedoes per side and a range of 8 kilometers with those torpedoes and a max damage of 14,400. Now with Concealment Expert, you can get your concealment down to about 11.1 kilometers. As far as commander skills, I'm running Priority Target, Preventative Maintenance, Expert Marksman, Basic Firing Training, Demo Expert, and Concealment Expert. Now on to the bad. Of course, it's her armor. She is a light cruiser after all. With 120 millimeters at the bow for Citadel, she does offer some protection towards other cruisers. And with 100 millimeters along the side, that does make her a juicy target to any battleship and even some destroyers. Now on to the Citadel deck. It is 50 millimeters, so do watch out for plunging fire as it will hit your Citadel. I have taken a few shots from Yamatos and even Montanas who have plunged into the Citadel. Now, without further ado, let's get into battle. Welcome to the battle. Today we're at Mountain Range and we have the pleasure of fighting against the scary tier 10s. Now, right now I'm checking out what mountains I kind of want to hide behind because I don't want to come close to or even engage if I can avoid it any of the tier 10 battleships, just because as soon as they see me, I see them, we both know what's going to happen, and that's either going to end in a detonation or 3 or 4 citadels, and it's not going to be a very fun game for me. So I noticed there's a destroyer off to my right. I found a mountain I want to hide behind, or at least slowly approach up until I get an idea of how the battle is going to break down. So I'm expecting him to spot A for me. I have a couple battleships and a cruiser off to my southeast, and I'm just hoping that if I do get detected or we do detect something scary such as the Yamato, I can get the proper support that I need. I can hit the smoke, which is very effective. It lasts for 89 seconds, so I can sit in there, spam those guys with HE shells, hopefully set some amazing fires with that 15% with the Demo Expert, and start to dwindle down their team. And that's another thing about this ship. Your AP doesn't really come into play that much unless a cruiser is effectively showing you its broadside, with like 0 degrees. With that, you'll maybe get some citadels on some things like the Miyoko, the Atago, anything of that nature. And if it's the same tier as you or a little bit less, you'll probably be able to citadel. You will have to be very close though, in fact. So we just spotted the Bismarck, or at least our friendly Yugumo did. Or I believe it was the Kagero. The Kagero spotted the Bismarck and the Charles Martel. I'm thinking, oh, this Charles Martel, it's the new squishy French cruiser line. So I'm deciding whether I want to load up AP based on his range. Now I noticed he's sailing bow in, so I'll fire some HE shells, and I'm a little too close to the island here, so I try to back up, but I am spotted by either the Charles Martel or the Bismarck's spotter plane. It does look like it's the Bismarck. My Kagero shoots out a wave of torpedoes in an effort to kind of push them back from the A cap, which we will definitely need since the enemy did make a brave approach and capture B. That is a very scary situation if you're the lone ship in Bravo. Now I see the Charles Martel and I'm going to pop out and hit him with some AP. So I decide to shoot him with AP, but, well, it looks like he starts to turn away from me. So, oh, well, there he goes. Bye-bye. Well, now we've got the ARP Takayo, however the hell you pronounce it. I noticed that he's sailing with a decent angle towards me so I can hit him. And there we go, there's one citadel. He's already set me on fire, but I'm going to hold off on my repair party until I know he's behind an island or he switches to AP if I give him a little bit of broadside. So it gives me more broadside, but unfortunately I'm in HE. I switch back to AP very rapidly and effectively hit on the hydroacoustic on accident, which worked out in my favor when I hit the repair party. Now I'm starting to get spammed by those Bismarck secondaries, which has an effective range of 11.3 kilometers if he's spec'd for his secondary build. Now the Takeo gives me more broadside. I hit smoke because I don't want to waste any more of my health pool, especially in such a high tier battle. And there's two more citadels. And so now he's beached himself. Perfect scenario. Now I get to show you what the AP does. There we go. There's 3 more citadels, and he's down to a little under a couple thousand. And I missed that, but I managed to nail him with a lone torpedo. And now we shift our focus, fire AP into his broadside. We will see what kind of damage the AP does against same tier battleships. Again, just bounces. So I switch up to HE. Time to set the fires. And you'll notice at very close range, even at far range, the dispersion values are very good. I believe it's under 160 meters of dispersion. So there's one fire, and I'm hoping right away, yep, there it is, the repair party. So now I've got to wait approximately 10 to 11 seconds before his repair party's up, and I can set him on fire again. So I'm going to push out of the smoke here soon. Oh, never mind. Don't have to. Someone has spotted him for me on my team. And now I'm trying to bring the guns to bear. Hard ruddering left. Get those fires set. The more fires, the quicker he goes down. Especially with those secondaries, you don't want him nailing you with those HE secondaries. I believe they have a chance to set a fire of 10%, which is a very high value for battleship secondaries. So now he's starting to go behind the island, which is perfect for me because it gives me a chance to reevaluate the situation and readjust my approach. He does hit me with an AP, but I did offer some angle. Even though with the crappy armor, it does prove effective against some AP shells, especially the crappy German battleships. Check my range on the torpedoes. Notice that he is sailing away, so there's no point wasting a perfectly good set of torpedoes. So that's another method right there. To check and see where the enemy is going to be going, or at least their direction, is to just zoom up a little bit, try to see if you can see where their bow is, and then you can try to see what their game plan is. It looks like we're pushing away because he's afraid of the HE spam. Anybody who knows the Russian cruiser line knows that these things are terrifying when it comes to setting fires, especially since he's burned up a repair party. Now you see how crazy those secondaries are. Even if he's that far away, his secondaries are still somewhat accurate, and I do take some hits. Managed to peek back behind the island, lop off a salvo of HE, and then now I'm going to push forward. Now he's back on fire, and he's since he's burned up his repair party, he won't be able to take that one and put it out. And now I've noticed that with priority target, he's looking at me, but there's really no point. And now, so just in case, to kind of calm my nerves, I pop up smoke just to be on the safe side. Now I notice a very dangerous Yugumo, which you saw his torpedoes come at us earlier. That was one salvo of torpedoes. He does have 8 torpedoes with a very good reload rate and very high damage. That's one thing the Imperial Japanese Navy do very well at, is their torpedo damage. And they will always cause a flood. I've never seen a torpedoes salvo from the Imperial Japanese Navy. Never not set afloat. And now, well, let's just say he's not going to be very excited about heading back to port so soon. But play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Now we notice that we've got the Bismarck on the run. We will continue to spam HE shells into her. Hopefully we make a quick mess of her and get on to the rest of the battle and help our teammates. As we do have the lead by about 250 points, I still don't want to risk anything, especially in tier 10, because if I get left alone, there's no way I can carry a game like this. It's just, I haven't seen a game where a Kutuzov carries when he's facing 4 enemies. If you've got the video, post a comment and link it below, but it's still, out of all the videos I've seen, I don't think I've seen one. So now the Bismarck is on fire again, and now you just see the damage continue to rack up, and it stops. That's when you know, oh, he's used the repair party, so set some more fires on it. And there's another fire. And the Bismarck's about to be used. Firing a last salvo here, knowing that he's going to be dead. Just to kind of kill secure. And our Kagero's still alive. He's done a great battle himself. The enemy Kutuzov, I notice he's still alive, and that's really impressive considering he's on the losing end of a battle. Still have the Montana, the Bismarck, and the Rune. I'm hoping that I don't see the Montana. Now, this ship can be found on the premium store for $45.99 US. I'm not sure how it is in other countries. I can only presume with the price, the currency exchange, it's a little bit more. But I got this ship via a cargo container, or like the Christmas special, so I bought, I think, 10 containers for like $15. And I knew that the Kutuzov was in there, and before I spent the $46 on getting the Kutuzov, I just figured, why not? I'll try to, pick it up. And worst case scenario, if I don't get it, I still get some pretty good rewards in those containers. So now the Rune, he is out of firing range, but I figured I will shoot a salvo before he even gets to range, just knowing that some might hit. You do lose a dispersion percentage with RNG when you're not locked on to a target. You can see how tighter the shot group is. Like, I mean, you can't really complain with that dispersion right there. But yeah, when you're not locked on, you're going to lose a significant dispersion value. So it's always vital to make sure you're locked on. Even if you want to try to fool them and say, hey, look, I'm not shooting at you, but I really am. Just note you are going to suffer that value decrease. But I'll be releasing this video by the time you're watching it, probably on Friday. That'll give you plenty of time to put aside some money, and Black Friday you should expect this ship at least on a 15% discount. I do recommend picking it up. Again, this is my opinion. I don't work for the wargaming community nor staff, and I'm not being paid to promote this. I just think that everyone needs to see, that this, if you're on the receiving end, that this is a kill ship. You must kill this ship because it has such a potential to do 100,000 damage plus games every time, if in the right hands. If you've got a player who's a win rate above 60%, you definitely need to take him out because he will do at least 140, 150,000 damage per battle. I have a 50% win rate. I managed to do 117,000 damage. I don't think that's too bad with 3 destroys. You will notice I made 467,000 credits, we'll say 468. 218 target hits with over half of them being penetration, so you have a really good chance to set a fire with those penetrations. I did 6 Citadel hits, of course on the ARP ship, with that 1 torpedo hit. It did cause a flood, but I made 3,387 experience with modifiers and a base XP of 2,258. 3 ships again and 1 airplane. I will give the Kutuzov, even though I didn't fight him, he was again in the same matchup I was, facing tier 10s, and he managed to get 2 kills. I don't know what he killed, I can't see his feed, but I gave him a compliment. And I just want to point out that most of our tier 10s came on the bottom of the scoreboard, the bottom half. So you can see I did 19,459 damage and fires alone to the Bismarck. I did 38,000 damage with the main battery. Those were AP rounds. The Yugumo, well, he ate up all of my broadside HE. And the Rune, I still managed to do a decent amount of damage with my AP shells, even though he does have a pretty good armor setup. Now I did 91,000 with the main battery, and then the rest of the damage was with the 1 torpedo and the fires. I did set 9 fires at 23,000 damage. I had a potential damage of 648,000, and I only received 17,000 damage. So without premium, I still managed to make 364,000 credits, 680 free XP, and 3,387 experience. Now, had I had premium, that would have been 600,000 credits, 5,081 experience, and 1,020 of free experience. Now you can see if you have premium time and you have this ship, you are going to be making some mad bank. Hope you guys enjoyed. Comment, like, and subscribe.